What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, after a pretty good weekend of NFL playoff football, I think the Final Four NFC is going to be Washington versus Philly, and then Kansas City versus Buffalo, which obviously is kind of like the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl. But like everybody, I'm kind of hoping that the Chiefs end up losing, just because, yes, I'm a Chargers fan. I have to deal with them twice a year, but they just get too much help from the refs, and it's just getting quite annoying. A lot of times where they called like a extra unnecessary roughness on Patrick Mahomes, and it looked like a pretty regular hit. They didn't even hit him in the head area. And then there's also like a hip drop tackle where the Chiefs defender tackled the guy from behind and then pulls him down, which you're not able to do anymore because that's a penalty, because those offensive players get hurt more often. And yet, of course, they still didn't call it or even mention it at all in the broadcast. So yeah, just those little things here and there that kind of helps the Chiefs, and you just kind of hope that now Buffalo just ends up destroying them with no matter how many points it takes, and then it leaves no doubt, because then the refs can't help them there, but they also can too. They call a penalty when there isn't a penalty on a play, that they score a touchdown and all that stuff. But hoping the refs and the NFL stay out of the weekends next weekend, so it's going to be a pretty awesome Sunday with those matchups, in my opinion. But we'll get on to a lot more Duke Lakers stuff. So the Duke men's basketball team are on the road at Boston College and got that victory 88-63. A little bit of a homecoming for freshman Cooper Flagg, because his family's in Maine, but he was like a Boston Celtics fan because they're pretty close up there, so they're able to drive down. So pretty sure he was probably a Boston College fan too at the time. But yeah, put on a nice show for his family and friends out there. And then one of those top 5-star players who's left uncommitted, and Nate Ament, looks like he's down to 11 schools, and Duke is part of them. I know they left a good impression on him over the summer, and he still hasn't selected anybody, but this late in the process, and he's a 2025 guy and still hasn't picked a school. It is kind of weird. Hopefully it's not just because he's waiting for money, but a lot of those schools he has left are people that can offer him large sums amount of money. So we'll see how Duke ends up in that recruitment. And then ex-Duke player Big Mark Williams had a big night. He had a career high 31 points, threw down 13 rebounds. Also was 12 of 14 from the field, including 8 dunks. And yeah, it was a nice career high in pointage, and really good overall performance for him now that he's finally healthy, coming back from that injury that kept him out most of the early part of the season. But yeah, hopefully he can turn around the rest of the season and pass the All-Star break too. And the women's basketball team did pretty good. They destroyed Cal the other day, 72-38, and they were also able to get the other new California school in the ACC, Stanford. They beat them 74-49 also. So yeah, big-time victories against the Cali schools. I think they played at Duke, so they did not have to travel all the way across country like Stanford and Cal. So hopefully Duke is prepared for Duke to do that over the next couple seasons whenever they have to go to California and play. And then yeah, early last week they were retiring ex-Laker great Michael Cooper in his jersey, the number 21. So yeah, it was a great ceremony. During halftime, yeah, it sucked that the Lakers did not get that victory against the Spurs that night. But yeah, so great to see all those ex-players too on his big night. So yeah, congrats to Coop. And then the Lakers did win the game after that against the Miami Heat, 117-108. They also did sign Trey Jemison III after letting go of Oliveri, which is kind of interesting. That's another big on a two-way, but we'll see how he does. And then the next game, they were able to play against the Nets and got that victory 102-101. I believe in that game, Austin Reeves had a career high 38 points, and obviously that's a team that the Lakers made a trade with a couple weeks ago. So obviously D'Angelo Russell was going off a little bit, but luckily he missed that last shot to win it against his old team that sold him out to a lower team. So yes, luckily Lakers got that victory. Sadly, they lost tonight, Sunday, against the Clippers in Inglewood, but hopefully they can bounce back, because I think they get the Wizards coming up within the next couple of days, so that should be an easier game at home for them before, I think they get 2 more home games, and they're on their Grammy road trip for like 7 games in a couple of weeks, so that should be interesting. An incoming Duke freshman on the football team, Bryce Davis, looks like he was named the High School National Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know exactly, I think that was according to Sports Illustrated it's pretty cool. Obviously, they are a reputable magazine out there, so yeah, it's awesome for him to get that type of acknowledgement. So that's why he's the highest ranked player to ever sign with Duke football. So yeah, that's pretty awesome too. And then Khalil Mack recently has been contemplating retirement heading into potential free agency. Obviously, this was his last contract year with the Chargers, so I don't know if he still wants to play. Hopefully, he comes back for another year or two, and if not, then that's fine too, as long as he just doesn't end up going and signing somewhere else, especially if the Chargers have to play him in the AFC and all that stuff. So, yeah, hopefully if he does come back, it's with the Chargers. If not, just retire. He had a great overall career. Obviously, he didn't win a championship, but still, pretty great career, in my opinion. And PFF put out their list of like the top 10 rookie classes this year, and the Chargers are ranked number 3 on there. I mentioned a lot of their guys last video, like Joe Alt, Ladd McConkey, the receiver, Tarheeb Still, and Cam Hart that they got later, Kamani Vidal too. So yeah, a lot of great guys in this last draft. Junior Colson too, the linebacker. So hopefully they get a lot of nice guys in this year's draft coming up soon in a couple of months. And then ex-Duke soccer player Ella Hayes recently signed with the Racing Louisville. So yeah, that's most likely the pro team on the women's soccer league. So yeah, congrats to her. And a lot of like track and field or other Olympic sports for Duke did some good stuff, whether they got first place or broke some school records or world records too. So I'll try to get through that real quickly. So Max Forte was recently the heptathlon long jump at 7.4 meters. Say that fast 3 times. There's also a new school record with Christian Johnson on the weight throw at 22.45 meters. Another new school record with Julia Jackson in the women's 300 meters. I'm assuming that's running. A school record for the swim and dive on the women's side. She was Tatum Wall, and she had the 100-yard free in about under 48 seconds, so that's pretty big time. First place for Kyla Krasiewicz in the women's 400 meters. I might still be running. Christian Johnson once again got first place for the weight throw, so congrats to him. And then another first place was TJ Clayton in the men's 60 meters. I think he did that in under 7 seconds. Pretty crazy. And then first place was Aiden Bandukwala in the men's 800 meters. He still did that in under 2 minutes, which is still crazy. And then the Duke women's tennis team beat a local California team in Pepperdine 4-3 also. So one of their first games of the season too. Like I said in the past video, both the USC women's and Duke tennis teams should be pretty good. They're both ranked in the top 17 overall in the country. So yeah, already off to some hot starts, and yeah, a lot of good happening for the Olympic side of Duke too. I have a lot of USC stuff to talk about hopefully at some point this week in a quicker video. But yeah, their Olympics teams are doing pretty well also. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Like I said, hopefully it's Bills, and it'll be a cool story for the Commanders, but I'm going to go with the Eagles just because if Jaden Daniels, the number 2 overall pick, gets to the Super Bowl before Caleb Williams, and it's obviously they're going to just say Caleb is the bust because he was picked number 1 spot ahead of Jaden, and he didn't take his team that far to whether win or lose. So kind of hoping it's Philly and Buffalo, but we just got to hope and pray, I guess. Like I said, thanks for watching, and let's go Duke.